Hey everybody, Dr. White here with your last video lecture of the semester. And I guess in a way it's really a fitting way to end this semester because, well, it's been a little strange. So in this lecture, I'm going to go over the assignment sheet for your reflective essay, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my expectations for it, and I can tell you I am hopping excited to read these. I really am. So, as we begin the end of this semester, well, what is there to say? How do we do it? What do we do when you're ending the strangest semesters of your college experiences and mine? And how do we do it? Well, we write a reflective essay. So, what's the gist of the reflective essay? Research into writing and learning shows that actually studying what we do, thinking about it, writing about it, reflecting on it, encourages what's called transfer. Transfer means that you'll be able to apply what you learned in a new context. So, one of the reasons for writing a reflective essay is to help you take what you're doing here and to reproduce it in other environments. So, what do we want to do in a reflective essay? On the screen, you can see that I have the assignment sheet. Now, I know the quality of these videos is not the highest, so you may not be able to read it. It, of course, lives on Blackboard, and you should really definitely download it and open it up before I go over it. So, what do we do in a reflective essay? Well, let's break down the etymology a little bit. We take a short piece of writing on a particular subject and we try. We explore an idea. And the French root of the word essay is an essai, a trial. So we're exploring an idea. And at the same time, we are giving serious thought or consideration to our work in this course. So, what does that look like in practice? Here are the nuts and bolts. 3 pages. Ordinarily, this would be a little bit longer, but given the abrupt nature of this course, we're going to just go with 3 pages. If you'd like to write more than that, I will happily read it. In fact, I think that more than that will help me understand how you dealt with some of the unique challenges this semester, and it will also give you a sense of closure, not just to our course, although that's obviously where the focus of your work should be, but also for the whole semester, which I'm sure has presented you with unique challenges that you did not expect. So I'd like you to take the occasion of this assignment to try and make sense of your experiences in this course. Everything from, if you're in my in-person classes, from the abrupt shift to online, if you are in my online class, to the upending of your life that invariably happened because of the quarantine. You have a lot to write about. Now, how do you do that in a way that speaks not only to the circumstances of all of this, but also to the work in the course? So, here are some guidelines for that. Number one, I've given you a couple of example paragraphs. Well, I've given you an example paragraph, and it's good. It's fine. One of the things that you'll notice as you read the example is that the writer is briefly describing what they did in a way that speaks to course learning goals. So they say, okay, here was the theory of what I was supposed to do, here's what I did, and here's my takeaway from it, and here's how this might work in the future. This is how we encourage transfer. It should be a little bit similar to you from some of the rhetorical situation memos that we wrote earlier this semester. Now, that being said, this is not a rhetorical situation memo. I do not want you to summarize what you did in my course. I know what you did in my course. Believe me. What I'm a little more interested in is what I didn't see. And this can go in a couple of different ways. Part of it could be personal circumstances, especially given what's happened. But another part of it could just be what I don't know about your work process. And yet another of it could be what motivated you to do some of this work in the first place. I know that we've all spoken about that a little bit, but it's something that kind of gets lost along the way. Is your motivation? Didn't mean that quite like it came out. I meant while you're doing it, not like trying. Um, so I have an example analysis here that you can read to show you how the reflective essay articulates the writer's growth from a student reader to a professional writer. And that's a trajectory that I talked to you about early on in this course, and it's a trajectory that I very much still believe in. The idea that you came into this class with an idea of how writing works in your field, and you come out of it with a slightly more developed sense of it. Not just in your field from a technical or disciplinary perspective, but also from the whole process of the creation of knowledge. Remember, this semester we started by taking the temperature of the room with the discourse community and genre analysis, proceeded to put together a research corpus of sources, make a synthesis argument based on those sources, and then we moved to a public project that said, hey, here's what the public can learn about my area of expertise, and here's what we can do to make things work a little better for the general public. You can sniff it out. So, somewhere along that trajectory is you. And who knows where your road ended up this semester? It was a crazy one, to be sure. So, I'm interested in reading your thoughts. I'd like you to talk a little bit about the assignments you did for the course. I'd like you to tell me a little bit about where you think you grew, where you think you might need to develop a little bit more. But most I'm interested to know how this all impacts you. And sure, it's a required writing class in a crazy semester with a lot of other stuff going on. I doubt that this was the most important thing that you did in your estimation, but maybe it was, and that would be good. If it's not, that's cool too. I'm interested in knowing where it fits in, and if the answer is it was a little interesting detour through the production of scholarly knowledge and writing and a few new genres, that doesn't sound so bad to me. But, put your own spin on it. What's your takeaway? What are you going to come away from this class with? And that could be tangible. It could be, oh, now I know how to use library resources. I learned about quantitative text analysis. I learned about how to organize a conference. I learned about writing for people who don't know anything about my highly technical field. Those are all real takeaways. But there are other takeaways. There are takeaways about making choices in how you gather information, and how you think about information, and what sources you feel are appropriate to use in different contexts. And these are principles that apply not just in academic or professional writing, but in life, as we navigate complex situations and as we encounter the unfamiliar. I believe that writing is something that teaches us how to think through everyday life and new relationships. So, what's that been for you this semester? You don't have to answer all of these questions, of course. You can answer some of them, or you don't have to answer any of them. I'm really interested, though, in what you think about what you did and who you are and where you've been. And if that sounds a little too much like Mr. Vernon's request in the Breakfast Club, sorry, I certainly am not asking tell me who you think you are. I am just asking you to reflect a little bit on the work you did, what you accomplished, and how you feel it's helped you develop as a writer, because it has. And whatever that means to you, I'm interested to know about. So, so, thanks for your time and energy and work this semester. I hope it's been okay. I've tried my best, and I know all of you have as well. If you ever want to reach out and be in touch, never be afraid. I'll be around. I'm here for you. Anything I can do to help, let me know. Have a good one.